Welcome to the Diamond Niner Fans Podcast, Episode 2. I'm Nick. I'm here with Kevin.
How's it going?
Kevin, can you believe it? Diamond Niner Fans Corporate brought us back for a second episode.
I guess they enjoyed the pilot. Got a lot of good feedback out there.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all. When we did this, we really didn't expect many of you to listen. So the fact that you did and said some nice things to us means a lot to us. So we appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, got a lot of good feedback, and not all of it was from family members.
Yeah, he's talking to, our mothers loved it, by the way. But guess what, Kevin? This is going to be awesome. We've got actual baseball to talk about today. No more projections, no more innuendo. It's all straight baseball today. So why don't we jump right in? We took care of business this weekend, right? Got a big sweep over Iona. Took them 9-2 on Friday. 6-2 on Saturday, and 10-3 on Sunday for the sweep. I guess really the big question, or one of the big questions coming out of this weekend is, what do you think we learned?
Well, first off, we had great weather on Friday, and today on Sunday. Little bit of rain on Saturday messed up the plans a little bit. But what did we learn this weekend? I went into the weekend. Wanted to see all the new guys, all the new additions, how they fit in with the puzzle pieces, and we got a good look on day one. Tommy Bullock, the leadoff batter, started off the season, first hit of the season for the Niners. Had a great day at the plate. Ended up with 5 RBIs on the weekend. Batted .545, and that was one of the newcomers. He was a junior college player out of Pitt last year, so.
Yeah, and I just want to say here about that. I mean, I know Netzer. Those guys were on their way down. They were driving down to. We saw some of those guys this weekend, but they were driving down to spring training here on Sunday. And I mean, yeah, we're gonna still miss Brett Netzer, right? But Tommy Bullock at second looked pretty good. We still love you, Brett, but Tommy was balling out over there this weekend.
Yeah, he looked pretty good. I'd say he made some good defensive plays as well, and. Putting him at the top of the lineup will fit right in. Another newcomer we saw was right fielder Dominic Camarada. Mm-hmm. He had a big presence at the plate. He smashed a few shots down the third base line and created some chaos on the base path. We got he was definitely involved in run producing. Played pretty solid out in the outfield. Had a good assist on Sunday.
He had a phenomenal assist on Sunday. There's video of that out there. You can go check that out. I think the official account put a video of that out there. And Dom made him famous. He hosed that guy.
Yeah. Yep. I don't think. Hopefully, see a lot more of those highlights. But once the highlights get out, they'll probably stop running on them.
I know of one Iona player that wishes they hadn't.
Not really a newcomer, but moving across the outfield, left field, Todd Elwood played all 3 games out there this weekend. Ended up leading our team in averages for the weekend, .556. Pretty solid defensively as well.
Yeah, I told you this was going to happen. I predicted this, Kevin. I saw it coming a mile away that opening weekend, Todd Elwood was going to lead us in batting average. He was going to bat over 500 and was just was going to do it all from the 9 hole. Yeah. I saw that coming.
Well, he looked good out there, and we definitely could enjoy that production for this weekend. He had 5 hits, a double, an RBI, and like I said, he played good defense out and left.
Yeah, so we got some of our questions answered here. So I think the one hanging out there was we were discussing what would happen at first base, and we kind of got our answer there, didn't we?
Yeah, it looks like they're going to do a platoon between the 2 catchers. Harris Yett was behind the plate the first 2 games, and Zach Smith was over at first. That was another hole we talked about filling from the loss of Logan Scherer. But it looks like they're going to do a platoon over there behind the plate and at first. We got Drew Ober was back. He was back.
Good to see Drew back.
Definitely good to see him healthy. he's back at DH, and definitely welcome sight to see back in the middle of the lineup.
Yeah, and I mean, Drew had a little rough weekend at the plate, but I think with the layoff that he's had, he's gonna round into form. He needs to get some at bats in and knock a little rust off, and I think we can look forward to seeing some big stuff from Drew coming up.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's first weekend back. He hadn't played in almost a year, so definitely good to see him back. I'm sure he'll work right into the lineup as the season goes forward.
You want to talk a little bit about? We can come back to the lineup anytime here, but let's talk a little bit about the pitching. We were speculating on who would be in the weekend rotation, and we got our answers, and really so far the answers look pretty good.
Yeah, definitely a strong performance this weekend from our starting pitching. We went with the rotation of Matt Brooks on Friday night, Josh Macheski on Saturday, and Jonah Patton on Sunday. Two seniors in that, and a rising sophomore. Brooks looked pretty good on Friday. He kind of got up there in pitches. He couldn't quite get out of the fifth inning, but through 96 pitches, looked good. He was hitting his spots, it looked like, and I think the umpire started squeezing him a little bit later in the game. But I thought he had a good performance. Like I said, 96 pitches. You don't want to push him too much first game of the season. We got some good relief. Joey Cooner came in, pitched solid 2.2 innings. I know the staff was pretty high on him. He's a lefty, junior college transfer, so good to see him. Colby Bruce came in and closed it out on Friday. Nice to see him on the back end. He's a tall, lanky pitcher, so definitely good to see him develop, build on what he did last year. On Saturday, Josh, what can you say about Josh? He had tied his career high, 11 strikeouts, veteran pitcher. He pitched through some jams, pitched through rain delays, pitched through some poor officiating. And he definitely gutted it out and got the victory on Saturday.
He pitched through some knocked out officiating. It was a big delay. I mean, you can't. Among the obstacles Josh had to overcome it was at least, was it a 20-minute delay? Was it a 30-minute delay? I don't know how long it was. It went on for quite a while, but we had to switch out the home plate umpire in really. One of the stranger plays I've ever seen. I've never seen an umpire get hit in the head by a relay throw before. I mean, the plays coming to the plate, right? Who was coming in? Was Tommy coming in to home plate? I don't remember who it was, but the throw was coming home. It one-hopped, and the Iona catcher missed the ball, and it hit the umpire right in the noggin and knocked him for a loop. I heard when he was all right. He got up slowly, and they took him to get it checked out. But I heard that when he first got up, he was asking what happened. He was a little confused about how he got there on the ground, but a baseball to your head will do that. So hopefully he's all right, because that was really scary. When
definitely.
It didn't sound good. It didn't look good, and to see him on the ground like that. But
hopefully he's all right, and he'll be back at the Hayes sometime soon.
Yeah, scary moment. But what it sets up is we're at the plate, and it sets up this long delay, and Josh is in the dugout. And you're wondering how loose is he going to be able to stay, whatnot, how is he going to come back in? But sure enough, he comes back out there. I mean, on top of the weather, the grip on the ball had to be a constant struggle, because they were basically playing. I mean, at times it was, you had some rain, but you were sort of playing in a cloud. I mean, it was misty.
Yeah, it was just constantly spitting.
Yeah, they were really adverse conditions, and all Josh does is fan 11, and through all that. So if you're not excited about that performance, I Yeah, I don't
definitely.
know what to tell you.
If we get that out of Josh every week, then man, we're going for a great season. Yeah, he looked good, and definitely you could tell he's got the senior leadership and he's got that experience, and we could definitely rely on that as the season moves forward. So Josh, I think he pitched 6 innings, 6 strong innings, and we had Phil Perry came in and he did his job for 2, and then back in Carson Pinckney came in and closed the door on Saturday. I don't think it was a safe situation, but still, I mean, we have some quality guys at the back end of the.
I think it was a potential save situation while he was warming up, and then it seems like we tacked on a run or 2 there to take it out of play. But that was our first chance to get a look at him. We discussed him as a potential closer, and just good to get a look at him. I know Coach Doty was glad to get some guys working in there, and he was one of them.
Yeah, it looked pretty good at the back end of that game. And then on Sunday, Jonah Patton, another senior, kind of worked his way from the closer's role last year into the starting role. Built on his momentum from last season, had a good start to that on Sunday. Horky came in, relieved him, another senior. Solid experience. Pitched 3 innings, got into the ninth, and I'm gonna need some help with. Is it Skopinski? Skopinski closed that out. He closed it out on Sunday, and definitely not a safe situation, but another good arm at the end of the game to shut the door.
Yeah, and Jonah, I mean, he's just such a gamer. He really battled through some adversity. First, second innings were a little rough for him. Got the pitch count up. Battled back though. He hit some rough spots, but he just like with a guy with that much experience, he pitched through it like you would kind of expect him to. And then I mean, just depth wise, Kevin, how awesome is it to be able to, you're going to the pen and you're bringing out a guy that's in Matt Horky that's got, I mean, he's been on the field for 4 years. I mean, his experience level is way up there, and to be able to turn to him in a spot where you need him, and he delivered.
Yeah, it looks like overall, I think we only one freshman pitched, and that was Kopinski. We've got Perry came out of the pen, Horky came out of the pen. Those are seniors you can rely on throughout the season. They've pitched some big innings for us in the past, and I'm sure they'll be pitching a lot of big innings this season.
Yeah, I mean, it had a good feel to it. I mean, overall, the pitching was pretty solid this weekend. Gave you lots of reason for optimism. The only thing, and I know you know where I'm going here, was I'm starting a campaign to change the rules of baseball for what the rules are on a win, because Matt Brooks deserved a win on Friday for his outing, but but he didn't get to 5, so I get it, but. Matt, if you're listening, you got the win in my book, buddy. That's I can do that, right?
If you want to, yeah.
It's our show. I can give wins to whoever I want to, right?
I would say so, Nick. Just be sure you keep track of it.
Yeah, well, I'll keep. There's going to be 2 sets of stats here. There's what the book says, and then what I say. Why not? So we've got that. We got to look at that, and that was exciting. We touched a little bit on the offense, really potent. We were looking to see where the offensive production was going to come from. I mean, let's talk for just a minute about the weekend Harris Yet had at the plate. I mean, it was
definitely, especially Friday, had one of the 2 guys who hit home runs on Friday, 2-run homer on Friday. It was a big spot for us. Definitely, Harris Yet had a good summer, and I'm glad to see that he continues on a hot streak for this spring season. Looking forward to seeing more from that. I mean, he batted 500 on the weekend, 3 RBIs, a homer, including he had a homer and a double. Scored 5 runs for us, so definitely pleasant to see that. Jackson Mims, he he went deep as well. Another guy with 3 ribbies for the weekend. He also had a double, so they kind of got very similar stats from Yet and Mims on the weekend. 2 veteran juniors helping lead us to the through the season.
Which is, I mean, that's the way it's supposed to work, right? I mean, this is building layer on layer of the program. I mean, your senior guys. We talked about it with the pitching. We got these experienced guys that are leading the way, and then just like you would expect, in the on the offensive side, you've got older guys that are producing.
Yeah, and I think overall we kind of, you can see we're offense a little bit rusty. We kind of went a few innings here and there, and we left some guys on, but bats will get rolling. I'm sure, and it'll be a little more consistent moving forward, I think. But we know what the guys are capable of, and we saw some of the new guys what they're capable of. So
scored 25 runs on the weekend, and could have. I mean, the opportunities were there. We could have hung a lot more on the board. So there's plenty of room to grow there.
Definitely, and I'm definitely pleased with the offensive production and for a first opening weekend.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell you what. Let's do. Let's look a little bit forward here and talk about what we've got coming up this week. Because the guys look good. There's plenty of reasons for optimism. Stuff we like going forward. We've got 4 big games this weekend, or this week, I should say. We've got NC State on Wednesday up in Raleigh, and then we travel to Athens next weekend to play UGA. Why don't we spend a little bit of time talking about our upcoming matchups this weekend?
Well, yeah, this week I know we're traveling to Raleigh to play NC State. They won 2 out of 3 this weekend over Seton Hall. I believe they played 2 on Friday, and weather affected their schedule, and they lost the game on Sunday. But they also play NC A&T on Tuesday, and then we roll up there. So they're going to get a little deeper in pitching, and so it'll be interesting to see. Not sure who we're going to throw, but we've got a lot of options, it looks like, and looking forward to seeing who we throw out there on the midweek games, starting out with NC State.
What do you think? What's your gut telling you? What's maybe your top 2 options to go with on Wednesday?
Well, honestly, earlier in the season, preseason, staff was pretty high on Joey Cooner, and he was kind of in the battle for that starting spot on the weekend. So we may see him. He pitched a little bit on Friday. I don't know if they want to push guys this early in the season.
Did he throw maybe 40 pitches on Friday?
Wasn't that much. I think it was probably around there, but he pitched almost 3 innings. So he could come back on that much rest on Wednesday.
57.
And I'm not,
57
that's
pitches
a lot of pitches.
Friday.
So I'm not sure. Could be a freshman. Who knows?
Okay.
We still got the lefties that we hadn't seen this weekend. Craver and Morrison, we didn't see them this weekend, so they're available. Craver started before.
Craver, I mean, it was in relief, but in Raleigh last year, I mean, Craver probably had his best game of his career there in Raleigh last year.
Yeah, they probably remember him. I think he started the game at BB&T against the Wolfpack as well. So. Maybe he rolls out there. We got a lot of options, so we'll see. It's good to see what these guys will, the coaching staff, how they're going to play it.
Options are good.
Yeah, definitely. And then you mentioned we got the midweek at NC State, and then we travel to Georgia. I know it's kind of a home and home. They came to Charlotte a couple years ago, and we split with them. One game, we won a game at BB&T Ballpark, and we lost the game at the Hayes. But Georgia, they've got I was reading up on them. They had nine starters returning from last year in position player wise, and 2 starting pitchers. So they ended up taking 2 out of 3 from Georgia Southern this weekend. They've got a junior lefty starting on Friday, a freshman started on Saturday, and then they had a senior righty on Sunday. So definitely a big series coming up this weekend. They're definitely a tested SEC program. I think they started 6 freshmen last year, so they kind of threw guys into the mix, and then they took their lumps and they won some games down the stretch. So it's going to be a big test for our program this week. Georgia's
been getting some mention in preseason publications and whatnot as a team that maybe the media is not sold on just yet in the SEC, but a team that they've kind of earmarked that if they gel, that they could emerge out of the SEC as a quality team and be a tournament team. So they're definitely somebody that we need to do well against. It's a great measuring stick for us.
It'll definitely be nice to go down and compete with those guys and take a series from a SEC team. I think they were picked 5th in their division by the coaches, but like I said, they were a young team last year. They took their lumps and they returned a lot of guys. So those teams are always dangerous.
Yeah, and see, I think all 4 of these games are televised. Is that right? Am I saying that right?
I know Wednesday's game is on the ACC network. It'll be at ESPN.
Yeah, so you can get it on the ESPN app. And I want to think that say that the Georgia series is maybe on SEC Plus, which you can also get on the ESPN app.
Right, so they're all tied into that ESPN contract.
Yeah, so I think there's going to be plenty of opportunities to see these games this week, which is really exciting. I mean, it's not been that many years ago, Kevin, that college baseball just didn't get much run on. You really weren't. If you were going to watch in college baseball, you were probably watching it in person,
or either the College World Series.
I mean, it came on TV then, right? But until then, you really didn't see very much. So this is really, really cool. Although I think it's the Georgia game, not that Raleigh's not, but midweek's kind of tough to do on a Wednesday. But I think we'll probably have some folks head down to Athens this weekend. I'm trying to work that out myself, see if we can get down there. And I've never been to Athens. I'd just like to go check out the town. And I know they have a nice stadium. They just opened it up 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago, and definitely have a nice football fan base. I went there for a football game once, and it's they got a solid fan base, that's for sure.
I think they're pretty serious down there. So if we get down there, we'll see some of you folks down there. I know there's more folks planning to make the trip, so that's good. And but I think Wednesday afternoon. That game's at what time is that game? 3:00. 3:00 on Wednesday. So find a way to watch it from work if you're still there or something like that. Maybe on your desktop or something. We'll certainly be checking that out. Let's talk a little bit about the league in general, because we kind of did. Niners did their part for Conference USA this weekend, getting the 3 wins. But the league really had a pretty good weekend overall.
Yeah, definitely. I think the big one there is Southern Miss with a big sweep. I mean, a sweep over Mississippi State, and I think they're both ranked in the 20s, top 25. And they sold these games out a couple months ago. Definitely, they were hyped up about this series, and I'm sure they're even more hyped now that they had a big sweep over a rival down there.
Oh, and there were a ton of Bulldog fans in Hattiesburg for that, and that was, not that their fans weren't excited, because Southern Miss fans they show up, but the Mississippi State faithful do too. I think they were ranked 12th in the country, and they were kind of coming in and expecting to. I'm sure they rolled in expecting to win the series, and I mean they. Can we say they got dominated? I mean,
I believe
Southern
so.
Miss put it to them.
Yeah, well, Southern Miss, they made a big move. They brought their closer in as their Friday starter, Sandlin, and from all I've heard, he looked pretty good as a starter on a Friday night.
I think I saw one of their fans comment online that this is either Coach Barry. Is that right? Barry, their coach. This either proves his genius or shows exactly how terrible they have a Southern Miss has a sort of a love-hate relationship with their coach at times. I think they love to hate him at times. But man, he made that move. I mean, I remember we were talking about that. I was like, whoa, they just took their All-American closer and made him a Friday starter, and he delivered the goods.
Yeah, and I think they had some injuries, and that's why they made that move so late, leading up to opening day. But it paid off for them, and it'll be interesting to see how they do moving forward with that, or if they move him back to the bullpen when people get healthy, or they keep him in that Friday night starting role.
Yeah, it would be hard to argue that you need to move him back unless, I mean, I don't know what quality level we're talking about that the guys are waiting on to get back, but I mean what Sandlin did on Friday night was pretty remarkable. I guess the other big result for the weekend was Rice.
Rice, they got a big win over Central Florida. They had Central Florida's nationally ranked. What was it, Saturday? They got the big win over Central Florida. They're in the tournament, so they're playing different teams. But yeah, another big win over a ranked opponent for the conference. And I think overall our conference record was pretty good this week.
Yeah, 26-11 for the weekend is what I've got. So it is way too early to start talking RPI. It just takes time for that stuff to all that to link together and to make sense. But I think from day one, weekend one, you got to be looking at conference record. Your conference is either winning games or it's not. And so far, Conference USA is off to, as you would expect, off to a good start.
Right, and the way Southern Miss started out is a big sweep over SEC team when it comes to selection time. When they're looking at those 5th and 6th or 7th SEC team versus 2nd or 3rd or 4th Conference USA team, that stuff matters.
Absolutely, and I don't think I don't have the data in front of me, but I don't think Southern Miss was in anybody's. They weren't getting ranked in anybody's poll, are they?
Yeah, they were in.
Were they in one? Yeah. I know they weren't. I think it was Baseball America and D1. I don't think we're in, but there's what, like, it seems like
there's several polls, but
like 8 different polls. But I don't know how many polls there are, but I know how many of them they're going to be in this week. All of them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they will be.
I am too. And if they're not, what's wrong with them? I mean, I don't know what else you want. So we're looking pretty good here. Moving forward with the week here, it's going to be fun to watch this team. I know that the coaching staff has got some things they're going to work on. At times, even Coach Hibbs said in his comments that there were some things that they needed to work on, and some times that maybe they lost their focus for a couple innings at a time, that kind of stuff. But that's the process, man. We get to watch this unfold as they go back to work and back to practice, and we got another week in front of us where we get to see how it starts unfolding. It's pretty exciting to think about. Most
definitely, and to go up against some top-notch opponents this week, it's going to be a big test to see where we are this early in the season. So definitely looking forward to the week ahead, and definitely pleased with what we saw this weekend. Lots of production, lots of room for improvement, and hopefully, like you said, we get to watch this team develop and to a hopefully postseason program, a postseason team.
Yeah, that's the beautiful part about it, just the process of getting to watch the guys develop. We're going to start winding it down here for this week, but a couple things to throw out there. Wanted to throw out. First of all, big shout out to the guys guys and girls, I should say, to be correct. Students that are hanging out over in the left field line, sort of outside the stadium with the bleachers over there. I don't know. I think, Kevin, and remind me, if they started doing that last year, right? And I think those bleachers that they hang out on used to be in the woods, I think, right? And didn't some of the guys go over there and pull those out? And they used to just be sitting over there on the other side of the woods from where the stadium.
Yeah,
is.
that's what I was told.
Yeah, it's beautiful. The best things happen like that are organic. I don't know what needs to be done, but the athletic department needs to like encourage that, embrace that, and grab a hold of that, because that could be a thing.
Right.
I mean, there are so many places that have. I mean, look at what they do at East Carolina, for example. I mean, they have a name for that out there. What?
I can't remember their name. I know. And Alabama has the right field Ragers. Yeah. And a lot of those SEC schools have a rowdy group of fans. So definitely, I'm not going to give them a name, but I'm sure that'll come eventually. But hopefully, it grows and grows, and we get to see
that's
more
beautiful.
Of that.
I mean, you guys, if you are listening, love it. Keep it up. I mean, we that needs to be a thing. What you guys are doing over there, that's beautiful. It's part of the home field advantage. Something else to mention, we don't quite have all this worked out yet, but we're a few weeks away from the East Carolina series, and we're gonna get something together for that. Still working on the details, but if you hung out with us at the Saturday game for the WVU series last year, and we had a pretty good crowd out and did some baseball tailgating. We're looking to do that again, so we would definitely love to meet some of you guys and come out. So we'll come back with some details for you about what we're putting together on that. But you know, baseball's a tailgating sport, Kevin.
Definitely, football and baseball are definitely the tailgating sports, and we love to tailgate, right?
We practice during football season just so we can get it right during baseball season, right? So, yeah, we'll come back to you with some details on that. We want to see some folks out. So look for that. With that, I think that wraps it up. Pardon me. Kevin's got something here. Yes, Kevin.
Just one more quick thing. Just wanted to mention that the tickets for the games that we play uptown at BB&T Ballpark, they went on sale Saturday at 10 a.m. They're on sale now, so all you Niner fans, go out there and get your tickets to the games against. We'll play Arkansas uptown, we play Wake Forest uptown, and we play UNC Chapel Hill uptown. So we want to fill the stands with green. So go ahead and get your tickets before those other rascals get theirs, and hopefully see you at hit the Hayes and at the BB&T Ballpark.
Yeah, how dare I forget that? Thank you, Kevin. Make sure you do that. And, well, folks, until next time, we'll see you at the Hayes.
All right, go Niners.